General Hayden, are we effectively ethnically profiling potential suspects who want to hurt the United States?
I'm not quite sure the context in which you're asking the question, David, about ethnically profiling, but with regard to intelligence...
Well, isn't there a profile of who we think the terrorists are?
Right. Of course there is, but it's based more on behavior. I mean, for example, the individual in question here, Abdul Muttalib, I mean, he would not have automatically fit a profile if you were standing next to him in the visa line at Dulles, for example. So it's the behavior that we're attempting to profile. And it's the behavior, these little bits and pieces of information that were in the databases that we didn't quite stitch together at this point in time. But it wasn't a question of ethnicity or religion. Those are contributing factors, but it's what people do that we should be paying attention to.
But I want to press Secretary Chertoff on this point, because I've spoken to counterterror officials and say it's more than a contributing factor. We know who 90% of these terrorists are. There may be other examples of women being used and whatnot, but Islamic males between the age of 20 and 30 make up roughly 90% of that profile. Is that an inappropriate or appropriate way for law enforcement to be targeting individuals?
I think relying on preconceptions or stereotypes is actually kind of misleading and arguably dangerous. Obviously,
so that's wrong. That profile's wrong?
Correct. Well, now what I would say is you want to look at things like where has a person traveled to, where have they spent time, what has their behavior been, but recognize one of the things that Al-Qaeda has done is deliberately try to recruit people who don't fit the stereotype, who are Western in background or appearance. Look at a guy like an Adam Gaddan who grew up in California, who's one of the senior level Al-Qaeda operatives, but does not fit the normal prejudice about what an extremist looks like.